Chase is a man among boys.
Dials up the deep ball, looking for the connection, and he's gone!
Got locked in now, laser focus!
That's who you are! That's what we are!
That was kind of sweet.
What's up? Welcome to Balls Deep, the Balls Deep Show, baby. It's your boy, it's your host. It was a wild week 14, man. We're going to be looking at some memes and some news and highlights, along with some juicy headlines, along with what can happen as the playoff push. The NFL playoff push is officially upon us now. Hope you're having a great day. And if your team won, you get a Christmas cookie, a Christmas tree-shaped cookie. And if your team lost, well, you get a wrench. Nonetheless, I want to get into it. So many hot teams and so many big injuries. In fact, that's the first thing we're going to start with. And we're going to start with Kyler Murray. That's a few games going into next year that he's going to miss probably. So that's big for not just this year, but next year, because I'm pretty sure Carson Wentz in 2017 tore his ACL around the same time. If not, I'm pretty sure it was the same week, if not a week later or so. And he missed about 4 games. So it's going to probably linger into next year a tiny bit. Niners wide receiver running back 1, Tyshawn Raekwon Samuel, is officially okay. He is okay by the grace of the football gods. He suffered a minor MCL sprain. That's your little leg elbow, a.k.a. your knees, and an ankle sprain. And, yeah, he avoided a high ankle sprain. So what looked like a terrible injury and a terrible end to his season is actually just a minor setback for a major comeback. So I'm not worried. They said Debo has a chance to return as early as week 17. Now, I don't know about that, but that's when the Niners travel to Las Vegas. And you know what? You know what they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So I'm hoping everything bad that has cursed us over the years packs their bags, rents a Motel 6, and gets a gambling addiction, because I've had it. We got memes for you, bro. You know what the segment is. It's a new segment, NFL Dump. I got the Pat McAfee show on right now, and I'm thinking he's going to say something about Mike Leach because he passed away. I didn't even hear anything about it until literally this morning. I put on the other Pat McAfee show that he posted yesterday, so rest in peace. But we got memes for you, man. We got memes. You know what time it is. It's the new segment, baby. NFL Dump. Yeah, man, to be honest, I never really liked him. Mike Glennon. I don't know. It just gave me a weird vibe. Look at that neck. If nobody got me, I know Travaris Cadet got me. Can I get an amen? Jamal Charles played for the Jaguars. Could you fucking believe that? I didn't believe it. I completely forgot about it. It was 2019, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was like 2019, 2018. Dude, this was terrible. This was just terrible, man. This is a disgrace to NFL uniforms, like, genuinely. Yep, Blake Bortles. They're competing also in receding hairlines, but the one thing that is far clear, Blake Bortles' category, it is playoff wins. He's only got one more, but still more. Dude, I don't even know what to say about this. I'll never forget this. I remember watching this live. I was in 8th grade. Yeah, the NFL once had something called Say-I Ajira Tutu. I don't know what that was. I've had it with TJ Yates, man. I've had it. Enough is enough, okay? I've had it with this guy. Who does he think he is, bro? I'm on my last nerve with TJ Yates. Yeah, now that we covered all the important stuff, that was very important, we're going to get into the games, and we're going to talk a little Monday Night Football. That's what we're going to start off with. Bro, Monday Night Football last night, and when you're watching this 2 days ago, was what it's been all year. Mid. It was mid. And speaking of mid, a random girl sure thinks Joe Burrow is. She said that she would go for Joe Burrow's ambition and not his looks, which may not be what she meant.
I know he's got a girlfriend, and I'm happy for him, but I'm not happy for me in that situation. Dang it, he's talented, and let's be honest, I go for ambition, not look.
But some people were saying that she was going after his looks, and that's what he thought too, but I don't think that's what she meant. I think even though he is good looking, she wouldn't go after him for that. And Joe Burrow does look good, let's just be honest, but what does not look good is whatever the Arizona Cardinals did last night. And I got to be honest, it kind of looked like they were just trying out for the XFL, but I don't even think Vince McMahon would want that shit in his league. As the Cardinals did the best impression of a football team, the Patriots parted the Red Sea and walked miles through it. And by walked, I mean ran. Their running backs ran for yards. Yeah, the running backs ran for yards, that is. Kevin Harris and Pierre Strong. Yo, Pierre. They ran wild, man. Strong and Harris both got their first touchdowns of their young careers. But don't let that distract you from the fact that the Patriots have a player with the first name Pierre and a player with the last name Bourne on their team. Cards were up 13-7, going into field goal range. They were about to score again. And then Jelani Tavai made this play on 4th and 1.
McCoy keeps, flips, tipped, and the play was made by Tavai.
And the Pats won after all, but it came at a cost. They lost Ramondre Stevenson, already being down Damian Harris. They lost Jack Jones, corner, who was playing out of his mind as a rookie. And Devontae Parker, a big free agent signing. So it was a tough game, even though they won. Cliff Kingsbury, bro, like I said, I've said this before. I said this shit like week 6. Like, he's got to go. It's tough, I think it's just a marriage that doesn't work out. I mean, nobody was happy this year, man. You see Murray, he's so frustrated. Every second he's yelling at him, and it's just, you just got to get a fresh start as a QB. I mean, they have a good team. They don't have a bad team at all. They have a good team. Get a fresh start, new coach, new GM, probably. I wouldn't mind that, even though I think he's a good GM. Steve Keim. Giants and Philly. Wow, man. 5 of my friends went to this game, and I'm including my friend's dad as a friend. Shout out to Tony G, man. He's one of the boys. The Eagles royally fucked the Giants. They blew them out. Man. They blowed their dick off, 48-22. Jalen Hurts, another MVP performance, man. It's impossible at this point, dude. Every week, Sanders scores, A.J. Brown scores, Devontae Smith scores, and even the Giants killer, Boston Scott, got in the end zone, man, got a tutty. And I really hope, though, that this guy was at the game.
I would let Big Dick Nick
Go ahead.
put his dick so far up my ass
Yeah?
that I don't even know what the fuck I'd fucking do.
If it wasn't clear already, the Eagles just made it crystal. They are the best team in the NFL. I think that they are. They're efficient. They're top 5 in offense and defense. Pretty sure they're the only team to be like that. They take the ball away. They don't turn it over. And they run the ball. And they can run the ball with multiple running backs. They do it with Jalen Hurts, who's their QB. And they have 3 running backs, man, that get the ball, that have scored, that have been effective in this offense. It's a very hard offense to stop. So basically all the things that people consider winning football, like a winning brand of football, the Eagles are doing it. And they're doing it down. They're getting down to the nitty-gritty details, and they're doing it as well as anyone has in the past few years. So they're just unstoppable, man. They're unstoppable because of talent and scheme and matchups. They have everything. The Giants, however, were exactly what I feared them to be, a fraud. A big frat. They could be in a frat. I wouldn't be surprised if one of those players were in a frat before, but a big fat fraud. They're reaching out about your car's extended warranty. Don't answer it. Don't fucking answer it because it's not real. It's a scam. Like, they're scamming you out of those tickets to go to the fucking games just to see that. Just to see that shit in a cold, rainy environment. But in all honesty, though, the Giants are injured. They're currently fighting for their playoff lives. They have the right makeup, but I don't know if it's going to take everyone, dude. It's going to take everyone on that team to get them in there. Jets, Bills, man, it was fun to see Nance and Romo, though, call a game. And I honestly can't remember the last time that they've called the Jets game. The same old Jets, man. The defense, though, as always, they held it down. They looked amazing until the offense fucks them so hard that they can't recover. They're limping back to their dorm. Like a girl at UCLA, they're just limping back to their dorm because they got fucked. And Josh Allen, though, he didn't have to do a whole lot. The defense took care of Vanilla Ice back there in Mike White. But he did show off his balls. He showed off his balls that he had for taking a hit. He took a hit to the ribs, to the midsection, and he just went right down. And he took another hit to the midsection late in the game, but he kept playing. So I got to give credit where credit is due. Mike White played your ass off, though. It's okay, though. If worse comes to worse, you have an elite QB, a Super Bowl MVP. Joe Flacco back there, ready to take a snap. The Jets will face one of my favorite teams to watch right now, the Lions, man. They're red hot, coming off a beatdown on the 10-2 Vikings. A game where the Lions were favored in. That hasn't happened ever, I don't think. Ever. It's going to be a tough challenge for the Jets. I don't know, man. I think the Jets coming off of this loss, going back home, I don't know. It's tough, bro. They really just, they need something to go right for them because their defense is playing good, but nothing on offense is getting them anywhere. The Bills only had 232 yards of total offense, but the Jets' 2 fumbles in the game were the deciding factor. Wilson has thrown 26 times, only twice this season. Mike White has thrown for 26 times every single start that he's had. And it's been like 40 almost every time. One was like 51 the other day. And that was pointed out by RG3 on ESPN last night. Yeah, dude, they trust Mike White, and rightfully so, because he's kept them in every game. He damn near won them the game against Minnesota if Barrios holds on to that ball. They trust Mike White to win the game, and it's not really Mike White's fault that they're losing. They're not losing in spite of Mike White. They're just not performing overall as a team. So, but they're throwing it with Mike White a whole lot more because they know that he gives them the best chance to win. They're not going to do that with Zach Wilson for reasons I don't know. If they really just believe that he can't do it, like, I don't know what you do with him. I really don't. Because it's like, why stop? Why, if Mike White brings you to the playoffs and say he wins a playoff game, it's like, what reason do you have to go back to Zach Wilson? I mean, you left a sour taste in your mouth. It's just, I don't know. It's not that I'm not rooting for him. I am rooting for him. I want him to be good, but if the best decision is Mike White, you stick with Mike White and just let Wilson be the backup or the third string or whatever you want to do with him. Houston and Dallas, man, wow, the Cowboys, they never fail to surprise me. To almost fuck up, to be inconsistent, to crash and burn when you least expect it, but they didn't crash. They just kind of burned a little bit. Like the engine, the one engine went out, and then another engine went out, but they stayed, they landed just in time. Somehow, the 10-1 Texans went into Jerry World with Jeff Driscoll. That guy, I didn't even know that guy was still in the league. I swear to God, the 49ers drafted him like 6 years ago. And I had no fucking idea that he was still in the league. And for some reason, just decided to pop off and almost beat the 9-3 Cowboys. It's like, I don't even, it was playing two quarterbacks the whole game. I was bizarre. It was so bizarre. Dak was Sunday. Dakota Prescott almost threw the game-ending interception. And, we have nothing to lose effort. The high school football team went for it on 4th down and did not get it. I don't know why you go for I guess I understand you have nothing to lose. Why not go and win the game? But the real answer is you kick the field goal because it just makes more sense. And Dallas goes on a 98-yard drive and scores and takes the fucking league and takes the lead. What a surprise. Now, honestly, I would have thought that if you said the Battle of Texas, you'd be talking about like one half of Texas and the other half of Texas grabs like bull horns. They grab like bull horns and like Angus beef patties and they just slap each other until one side gives up the milk that they produced out of the cows that week. But it wasn't, man. It was two different QBs that probably won't be on a roster in 2 years, outplaying Dak Prescott for 3.5 quarters. But Jeff Driscoll, man, oh my God, this play he made. Look at this.
Driscoll off the fake, on the roll down the sideline. He finds Amari Rodgers. It's a touchdown.
Jeff Driscoll to Amari Rodgers, and whoever had a Jeff Driscoll and Amari Rodgers anytime touchdown, they just became like $1 million richer because that has to have been what it was worth. And also felt, I got to give a shout out, it also felt like 11 Jalen Petries were playing on defense because that guy balled out in this game. He had a really good one. Minnesota, Detroit, bro. Detroit right now, one of the best teams. No question. No question. They won 5 out of the last 6. They're very much alive in the playoff race in the NFC, and technically they're alive for the division. Jared Goff is playing some of the best football of his career, if not the best. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, he looks like the sun god that his first name stands for. And the Lions' defense is playing better. They're getting takeaways, man. They're playing like they mean it. They're not giving up big plays. And all they needed was their defense to step it up just a little bit because their offense was playing great, and it's been playing great all year. And it's a winnable schedule. It's a tough Week 18 matchup. You're going up to Lambeau, which it's likely going to determine their fate because say they do lose one more game, they're going to have to win out every other game. But if they don't, if they win out up until Week 18, it's still going to matter a whole lot because either way, that's the game that determines it. If they get in or not, I feel like, because they're rolling. And I think that last spot is going to come down to the Giants and them, and they have the tiebreaker on the Giants. And they have a tiebreaker on Washington, so it's going to be really, really interesting. But the highlight of that game was this play right here.
2 minutes remaining. Goff throws. Wow. It is caught. Penei Sewell, the right tackle, makes the catch.
That's an interesting play. I like it. I think it looks really dumb if it doesn't work, but it looks really cool if it does work, and it worked, so it looked cool. Believe it or not, that's his first catch of his career. Believe it or not, he has not ran out and caught more passes. I love the Lions. I've always liked Dan Campbell. I think they're one of the best teams in the NFL right now, and they're playing good, and they're beating good teams, and they almost beat Buffalo. And every year we get a team, I feel like, that gets hot at the right time. They win a few playoff games, and if Detroit gets in, just watch. Just watch, because if they get in, they likely have won out. So they are on a win streak like crazy. So I'm telling you, whoever has to face them, whether it's, oh God, I really don't want to, bro, if it's us, I really hope they get the 7 and they face Minnesota, because if they beat Minnesota in the divisional, that'll be the best shit. That'll be the best Christmas gift I could ever receive. And I don't even hate the Vikings. Like, it's just the NFC, and like they're like, I don't know, they've dropped some games that they got blown out in. Not saying they're frauds, but you know, you get blown out anytime. It's not a good look. Justin Jefferson set the Vikings record in receiving yards with 223 on 11 catches. And Kirk Cousins, though, I got to give credit. 1 p.m., Kirk Cousins balled out. He balled out, man. He had 31 of 41 passing, 400 yards, and 2 tuds, man. Elite performance, man. Elite. But that Vikings defense, far from elite. They're really bad. They are pretty bad. And that honestly looked like a strength. In the beginning of the year, they looked like they got it figured out, but it's looking like the same Vikings defense from last year. It's a bit better. They're taking the ball away a little more, but it's tough to watch. Kansas City, Denver, man. This game was flexed out of Sunday Night Football and ended up being a better game than the Chargers and Dolphins. The Broncos down 27-0 in the first half in a blink. But they woke up from the fucking dead. And by them, they/them, I mean Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson actually played like a quarterback. All of a sudden, they're right back in it. It's 27-21 out of nowhere. Mahomes does this.
Something like that. If he calls his plays to the opposite side.
Mahomes, he'll just chuck it ahead, and it's caught. McKinnon has that next gear.
Jerry Jeudy's Fortnite kid rage favored him well as he would pull a hat trick out of his hat. He had 3 TDs, man, and that's the most of his career in one game. And unfortunately for Russ, that was enough cooking as he was ruled out with a concussion and was actually playing the best football of the season. And it was unfortunate that he went down with that injury when he was doing that. And Mahomes did something that he's just not used to doing, that we don't see from him. He kept the other team in the game. He was throwing his team out of the game pretty much. He threw 3 picks. Brett Rypien would come in and throw an impressive 16 yards for 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Somehow 16 yards on 8 attempts was enough to do that. I don't even understand. That's just funny. I don't know why. And every week, someone on Kansas City looks like the best version of their position. And this week, it was Jerick the Jet McKinnon. KC goes to 10-3. Denver falls to 3-10 in a wild game. Carolina, Seattle go up to the Pacific Northwest and pull a shocker. A fucking shocking victory. And nothing felt better than eating peppermint bark next to the Christmas tree, watching the Niners blow out Tom Brady, and seeing Carolina pull off that upset with Sam Darnold at quarterback, who's actually looked pretty solid. And more importantly, the Panthers' run game looked really good. And along with 2 takeaways of Geno Smith, they were able to get the W. Panthers ran the ball 46 times for 223 yards, and give credit to them because they stuck with it. They found what worked. They knew Seattle wouldn't be good against the run. They knew that they weren't good against the run, and they knew that they wouldn't be able to stop them if they just went power right up the middle, fullback, Chuba Hubbard and Deontay Foreman, big backs. Seattle is a pretty good team, but the holes on defense that they've given up, I mean, those holes have been as big as Sky Breeze. And they let the worst run team in the league, Tampa Bay, they let the worst run team in the league run for 164 on them. So they're probably the worst run defense in the league, and I say that. And on Thursday, they somehow they'll hold CMC to 50 yards, but not here. Reverse jinx. With Kenneth Walker out, the Hawks only had 14 attempts on the ground for 46 yards, and with Travis Homer leading the charge with 9 carries for 26, it was tough for them. And we could very well see the Carolina Panthers hosting a playoff game. I mean, none of those teams hosting a playoff game makes sense except for the Buccaneers because they have Tom Brady. But if somehow we get who would be the 5 seed in the NFC? Dallas. Dallas is locked in if they don't win the division. If we get to see a Dallas Panthers wild card playoff game, that would be so weird. I don't even know what to think of that. Any team in that division hosting Dallas for a playoff game, it just sounds so fucking weird. And knowing Dallas, they'll lose. They'll fucking lose. I'm hoping to God, bro, that it's I mean, any team would be funny to lose to. The Buccaneers already beat them. I really hope it's like Carolina and they beat them. Oh my God. the internet would lose their fucking mind. Hawks play the Niners on Thursday, and if the Niners win, they clinch the division, and it's a huge game. It's a huge game for BCB. Big Cock Brock. Tampa Bay, San Fran, and my God. Oh my God, man. Was he ever BCB on that day? I've been waiting for this moment. It's Brock Breezy. B Herbo with the rocket arm, baby. TD on the ground. Throws a dime. Throws a dot to CMC. Left sideline. Back shoulder. Dime. 2-minute drill. Oh, Niners just looking up to put up a field goal. Don't be a little conservative. Greg Olson's talking to you. You know, you want to be smart here. But Big Cock Brock throws a fucking laser. Pump fakes the DB. Makes Jamel Dean look like a fool and just throws a dime to Brandon Ayuk. Down the left sideline again. And they're up 28-0 against the GOAT. And dude, the odds of this, for him to fall to us at the last pick of the draft, for us to get him last, out of all the players we could have, Jimmy and Trey going down, just for him to play against Tom Brady when his parents had tickets to that game originally because they wanted to see Tom Brady play. They ended up seeing their son as well beat him. It's just crazy, man. This season is just insane. I'm hyped to see it. I love this. I hate it for Jimmy, but I love it for Brock. Every bad day that you have, there's a good one right around the corner. And, well, it's been a good week. And it's been a good week for that team because they're rallying behind them. Greenlaw, beast. Warner, beast. Bosa, beast. CMC, beast. Trent Williams, dog. Mooney Ward, dog. T. Gipp and Nico Ward, all dogs. It was so fun, bro, to see that. Like, that was I think that was our best win of the season. And even though Tampa Bay's not a very good team, it's still Tom Brady. You know, it's still TB12. Ain't no way Seattle beats this team. This team, right now, the way that they're playing. No way. The Commanders, the Raiders, the Cardinals, there's no way that they beat this team. It's incredible. They have a chance to get the 2 seed. They have a actual chance. It's an outside chance, but it's a chance. Yeah, Tom Brady and Tampa Bay, though, they look terrible. Quite frankly, it looks like the worst, if not second worst team in that division. No run game, penalties, turnovers, O-line can't protect. And it's tough to watch because this might be Brady's worst year. It might be his worst team that he's had. And they got to play Cincy still, and they still got 2 divisional games, one of them being on the road at Atlanta, so it's not going to be easy. Other games are a quick skid. Ravens game was boring as shit. Both quarterbacks got hurt, but the defense sneaks it out. And if they can get healthy, I really like the Ravens if they're healthy, if they're fully healthy. I think they're a sneaky good team. Joe Burrow finally beats the Browns, although Tyler Boyd went out and he's going to miss some time. Trent Irwin looks like the new Chris Hogan, who went into my mom's bank once, by the way. Chris Hogan did. I think Cincinnati's the best team in the AFC right now. I think they're playing as good as anyone. I think they're playing as good as Kansas City and Buffalo, and they own the tiebreaker against Kansas City, and they're going to play Buffalo. So it's going to be really interesting to see what's going to happen. I really cannot wait for that game. The Jags beat the Titans, and T-Law finally looks like what the Jags hoped he would, and it's because the team is getting better with Dougie P in there, and I think they're going to be really good in maybe even next year. Next year, I think the Jags can be at the top of the AFC. I really do. Doug Peterson, he's going to give them a Super Bowl. I really believe that they're both capable. And sometimes it's not as simple as that, but sometimes it is, and they both have won titles. That's the thing. Lawrence is a winner. He's won. He won the Natty as a freshman, and Doug Peterson won the Eagles their first Super Bowl in his second year with a second-year quarterback. He didn't even do it with him. He did it with his backup quarterback. I think you have a winning culture finally in Jacksonville, and I think it's going to stay like that. It's not just going to be up and down. You have your future right now. It's very possible. Like I said, the Jags next year, I don't know why, I just have this feeling. I had a feeling about the Bengals, and I'm not trying to be like LeBron. All right, I'm really not trying to be like LeBron. Like he predicts shit. That those memes are hilarious. But I swear to God, this is going back to March 2021. I think I posted on the Deep Ball Best Football account in the world. I posted it like a playoff prediction in March of 2021. It's really early, and it's just random. And I had the Bengals at like the 3 seed. And I don't know why, or it might have been the wrong seed, but I had them in the playoffs. And I just had a feeling about them, man. I just had a very strong feeling. I didn't think they would make the Super Bowl, but it's the same feeling I have with the Jags, that like next year, I think they're going to be really good. And before we go out, we got shout-outs and Friday Beer's Best. So first we're going to shout out Commanders. Really funny memes. Love their fucking memes, man. Boda Sports, the GOAT. Blitz Football, another great page. NFL Route, best reels on IG. NFL Shorts, more best reels on IG. And of course, shout out Big Cock Brock Purdy, and my dog Bruno, my Boston Terrier Bruno. Shout him out. The boy, B Herbo. And it's Tuesday text, baby. And we're going to start out with this one. Raul, can you officiate a cockfight matching? What? That's a weird way to word it. We need to know by 5. Raul said he's in. And he's got a green text. I don't know how much I trust Raul. Who made up the sounds that dinosaurs make? How would we know? That's honestly very, very intellectual question there. Because that it's true. How the fuck would we know? Literally someone just made it up. You know how much of a loser you have to be to have that much time to make up dinosaur sounds? Who took my sweet potato? I did. This guy just graduated rehab, and he's telling that to his boys, and one of his boys said, "Let us celebrate." I mean, that's just a lazy way of congratulating, but all right. Yeah, that's all for today. That was a lot. I'm so glad that you watched, man. I'm so glad that you gave a shit to click on this video and watch it. If you're here, if you're listening, lock your doors, lock your windows, because Brock Purdy's on the loose. And also follow the Deep Ball on IG, best football account in the world. We have from news to highlights to great graphics to lists to rankings to memes, literally everything, man. It's a great account. Those suggestions in my DMs if you want posts about your team or whatever, I can do it all, man. Thank you guys so much. It means the world, seriously. I've had that account for 2 years, and all the work is paying off, so it's all thanks to you guys that I'm able to do what I'm able to do. To everyone, please stay healthy. Keep enjoying the best sport in the world, and I'll see you week 15. Balls deep, baby.